Welcome friends, let us go for the next lesson, that is redox reactions. The meaning of redox is consisting of two particular things. One is red followed by the ox. Red stands for reduction and ox stands for oxidation. The total discussion related to the reduction as well as the oxidation, the term will becomes very easy if I pronounce it as redox. Hence the name came as redox reactions. That is the total varieties of reactions where reductions as well as oxidations are present are said to be the redox reactions. Whereas here it is consisting of two things. One is reduction, second one is oxidation. Let us go for the oxidation. Oxidation in terms of the active fundamental particles present inside the atoms of the element, that is in language of electrons. If we talk, losing of electrons is said to be the oxidation. Whereas this oxidation can be defined in many number of ways. Let us go for the losing of electrons. Sodium is a metal. After losing electron, the fate of sodium is converted to sodium plus followed by electron. Similarly, Fe2 plus, ferrous is present in plus 2 oxidation state, that is said to be iron in plus 2 is said to be the ferrous state. Ferrous is converted to ferric state after losing one electron. This particular process where it is losing electrons is said to be the oxidation. Electrons are produced. In oxidation, what happens? Electrons are produced. In every oxidation process, it is acting as source of electrons. Such kind of process where electrons are produced, electron losing is present is said to be the oxidation. That can be defined in many number of ways. We can define that one in terms of oxygen. We can define that one in terms of hydrogen. Majorly, these are the general elements used for the oxidation as well as the reduction process. Suppose gaining of electrons, gaining of oxygen is said to be the oxidation. Whereas oxygen is relatively more electronegative. Hence, gaining of relatively more electronegative element is also said to be the oxidation. Similarly, losing of hydrogen is oxidation. Nothing but what? Hydrogen is more electropositive. That is, losing of electropositive element is also said to be the oxidation process. Let us go for the examples of oxidation in terms of oxygen. What we said, gaining of oxygen, carbon on reaction with oxygen. Now carbon is chemically combined with the oxygen and it is forming carbon dioxide is an example of oxidation. Similarly here, losing of hydrogen, see H2S is acting in such a way that it is chemically combined with the hydrogen. Suppose in a chemical reaction, this hydrogen is left from the system and it is converted free from hydrogen. Nothing but what? Sulfur formation occurred. Now in H2S, hydrogen is there, whereas H2S is converted to sulfur, there is no hydrogen, it is losing sulfur, it is losing hydrogen, hence that process, losing of hydrogen, is also known as oxidation process. Whereas in terms of the electronegativities, hydrogen, oxygen, relatively compared to the most of the elements present in the periodic table, oxygen is more electronegative, whereas hydrogen is less electronegative. That is, gaining of more electronegative is said to be the oxidation and losing of relatively here, that is less electronegative element, is said to be the reduction process, oxidation process. Similarly, the reduction can be defined in such a way that gaining of electrons is reduction. Suppose chlorine, after taking electron, it is converted to Cl minus. Similarly, sulfur, after taking electrons, it is converted to S minus 2. Here it is gaining 1 electron, here it is gaining 2 electrons. Similarly, FeCN6 minus 2, FeCN6 minus 3 after taking electrons is converted to FeCN6 minus 2, minus 4. That is also an example for the reduction. Here, in terms of the oxygen, in terms of the hydrogen, in terms of the relative electropositive and electronegative elements sense also we can define losing of oxygen is reduction, otherwise gaining of hydrogen is reduction. Otherwise, here losing of electropositive elements, losing of electropositive element, electropositive is nothing but what? Hydrogen. Here gaining of electropositive elements is once again reduction. Similarly, losing of electronegative elements is once again reduction process. Whereas examples, we go potassium chlorate is there. This potassium chlorate on heating, it is converted to potassium chloride followed by oxygen. Here it is losing oxygen, example for the oxidation reduction process. Similarly here hydrogen combines with the chlorine, that is chlorine is free from hydrogen, but after chemical combination it is combined with the hydrogen. Hence gaining of hydrogen is example for the reduction process. Hydrogen is the less electronegative element, otherwise relatively electropositive element. Gaining of electropositive element is said to be the reduction, and here oxygen is more electronegative relatively, so therefore losing of more electronegative element is said to be once again reduction. Thus oxidation, reduction in terms of the most genuine way, gaining of electrons and losing of electrons, whereas that can be defined with respect to many varieties of atoms of element, with respect to hydrogen, with respect to halogens, with respect to oxygen, can be defined in many number of ways, and in to certain extent in a generalized manner we can define that one with respect to relatively more electronegative element, or with respect to relatively more electropositive element. In that way the definitions related to the oxidations and the reductions can be defined. Whereas in oxidation what happens is the oxidation number of the central atom increases, and in reduction the oxidation number of the central atom decreases. The next is oxidizing agent as well as the reducing agent. Yes, a chemical transformation is occurring. I came to know that that process is oxidation process. Whereas in that oxidation process there will be some chemical which is responsible for the oxidation. That particular substance which brings the oxidation of the others is said to be the oxidizing agent. Suppose let us see magnesium on reaction with fluorine, it is converted to magnesium fluoride MgF2, whereas here I am writing the normal equation. Whereas here in this case magnesium is present in zero oxidation state, is converted to magnesium of +2 oxidation state. So magnesium is undergoing oxidation. For that oxidation process there is an agent, there is a chemical, there is a supervisor, there is a guide, that particular substance which controls, otherwise which directs the oxidation process, which is responsible for the oxidation process, which supervises the oxidation process, is said to be the oxidizing agent. Similarly in the second, potassium iodide on reaction with hydrogen peroxide is converted to potassium hydroxide followed by iodine. See here in iodide I is present with -1 oxidation state, that -1 oxidation state is converted to 0 oxidation state. Here that is undergoing oxidation, whereas here for that oxidation process the chemical responsible is hydrogen peroxide, it is acting as agent for this process. Hence in this process hydrogen peroxide is said to be the oxidizing agent, in this process fluorine is said to be the oxidizing agent. Thus a substance that is responsible for the oxidation of others in chemical reaction is said to be the oxidizing agent of that reaction. Similarly reduction is gaining of electrons is reduction, whereas there will be some substance which is responsible for the reduction of the others, which is responsible for the decrement in oxidation numbers of others. That particular substance is said to be the reducing agent. Look at here, ferric oxide on reaction with aluminium, here ferric iron is present in +3 oxidation state, now it is converted to 0 in oxidation state. That is +3 oxidation state is gaining 3 electrons, as a result it is converted to 0 oxidation state. That process is reduction process, and the chemical undergoing reduction is ferric oxide in this. Whereas for the reduction of this ferric oxide it requires a agent, it requires another chemical, that chemical is said to be the, here for the reduction it is acting as agent, hence it is said to be the reducing agent. Similarly cupric oxide CuO, this on reaction with carbon it is converted to Cu followed by carbon monoxide, whereas in CuO the oxidation number of copper is +2, that +2 is converted to 0 oxidation state, that is undergoing reduction. For that reduction it requires an agent, that agent here it is carbon, hence this carbon is said to be the reducing agent. Thus the agent which is responsible for the oxidation in a chemical reaction is said to be the oxidizing agent. Similarly the agent which is responsible for the reduction of the chemicals in chemical reaction is said to be the reducing agent. And if you look at the logic related to the oxidizing and the reducing agent, yes, here fluorine is oxidizing agent, Hydrogen peroxide is oxidizing agent. If you look at fluorine of zero oxidation state is converted to -1 oxidation state. Hence, what we can claim is oxidizing agent undergoes reduction. Yes. Oxidizing agent undergoes reduction. Similarly, here reducing agents, aluminium 0 is converted to aluminium +3 state. Carbon 0 is converted to carbon +2 state. Reducing agent undergoes oxidation. Yes, these things happen in case of oxidizing agent as well as the reducing agents. In extension to the discussion of the oxidizing agents and the reducing agents, yes, oxidizing agents, they undergoes reduction. Undergoes reduction implies what? Their oxidation number decreases. That is, they gains the electrons. Whatever the oxidation process is there, in that process, the liberated electrons are gained by the agent, hence it is said to be the oxidizing agent. It is gaining electrons implies it is undergoing reduction, its oxidation number is decreasing. Whereas examples for the oxidizing agents are the molecules with higher electronegativity, because they are present in the elemental state. When they forms the chemical combination, they want to be present in the chemical combination with the other atoms of the elements which are relatively less electronegative, and that is possible if they gains the electrons. Hence, these are acting as oxidizing agents. Fluorine is acting as strongest oxidizing agent. Similarly, few metal oxides like magnesium oxide, carbon dioxide, phosphoric acid, chromium oxide, copper oxide are acting as oxidizing agents. Compounds with elements with the higher oxidation state, whereas that element should present with the highest possible oxidation state. In any chemical reaction, if it participate, it loses the higher oxidation state and it is converted to lower oxidation state. That is possible by gaining of electrons. Hence, it is supporting the process of oxidation. Thus, it is acting as oxidizing agent. Examples are sodium nitrate, hydrogen peroxide, sulfur trioxide, concentrated acids like sulfuric acid, nitric acid, potassium chlorate, potassium perchlorate, KMnO4, potassium dichromate, sodium dichromate, chromium trioxide, ferric chloride, HgCl2. In these of all, the metal is maintaining, the central atom is maintaining highest oxidation state. Here highest possible is 5, whereas in sulfur trioxide highest possible is 6. In HNO3 nitrogen is 5, in potassium chlorate chlorine is +7, chromium trioxide chromium is +6, HgCl2 mercury is maintaining +2. These are all are oxidizing agents. Similarly, if you go for the reducing agent, then reducing agents, what they will do? They will promote the reduction. They supports the reduction. Implies what? These has to produce the electrons, and implies what? These should undergo oxidation process. That is, all metals easily loses electrons. Lithium, sodium, aluminium, ferrous, zinc. Lithium is the strongest reducing agent in solutions, and few non-metals like hydrogen, carbon, sulfur, which can gains the electrons and which can increase the which can decrease the oxidation number, can also acting as, which can loses the electron and it can form the positive oxidation states, can also acting as the reducing agents. Like H can be converted to H+, carbon 0 can be converted to carbon +4, sulfur can be converted to positive oxidation states like +6, and compounds containing elements with the lower oxidation state, SnCl2, FeCl2, FeSO4, cuprous oxide, mercurous chloride. In this, stannum Sn is maintaining +2, ferrous is maintaining +2, and here copper is maintaining +1. Whereas other possible highest possible oxidation state is present, it can enhance. That enhancement is possible by losing electrons. That electron left from the system helps for the reduction of others, hence it is acting as reducing agent. Similarly, some organic molecules like free carboxylic acid, formic acid, oxalic acids, and few hydrides like hydracids like HCl, HBr, HI, H2S are also acting as reducing agent because they can undergo oxidation. It can form chlorine, it can form bromine, and that can form iodine, etc. And metallic hydrides like lithium hydride, sodium hydride are also acting as good reducing agents. The reason for reduction of the metallic hydrides is already they are present in the minus oxidation state. They should undergo oxidation by losing of the electrons. Hence, these are acting as good reducing agents. Oxidation number. Whereas it is the imaginary charge present on the atom of an element in the chemical combination when all chemical connectivities are broken as per electronegativity is concerned. Suppose let us, and it can be positive, negative, sometimes it can be zero and it can be fractional also for understanding purpose. Suppose carbon dioxide CO2, nitrogen phosphide N3P, whereas phosphorus P4 and the hydrozoic acid N3H are there. The structure of carbon dioxide is C double bond O. Whereas if I want to know the oxidation number of this carbon, whereas if I just removes this bond, as a result oxygen is getting 1 unit of negative charge, carbon is getting 1 unit of positive charge. Imaginarily if I remove this another one, carbon and the oxygen bond, carbon is more electronegative -1, sorry, hydrogen is oxygen is more electronegative -1, carbon is electropositive +1. If this bond is broken, once again that electron, imaginarily we are expecting that move towards the more electronegative, and here it is getting 1 unit of positive. If this is broken, once again -1, once again +1. So therefore carbon is having a total charge of +4 and the oxidation number of carbon and carbon dioxide is +4. How it is obtained? On breaking all chemical connectivities as per the electronegativity differences. Imaginarily if you do the process, then whatever the charge is present on the atom of an element is said to be its corresponding oxidation number or oxidation state. Nitrogen phosphide, whereas this bond is ionic bond, though we can write like this: nitrogen, here how many phosphoruses we are having? 1 phosphorus and 3 nitrogens. It is an ionic bond. It is generally present in the form of Na plus followed by P minus. More electropositive is sodium and electronegative is phosphorus, and this is sodium and this is phosphorus. Overall phosphorus is having 3 units of negative charge, hence the oxidation state of phosphorus is -3. Similarly, in case of phosphorus, if I just cleave this bond, phosphorus 0, because both are of same electronegativity. If I break these, all the bonds, no issue, everywhere phosphorus is getting 0 oxidation state. Whereas in case of hydrozoic acid, see here 3 nitrogens are there, every nitrogen is having its own corresponding oxidation state. But this is no use individually if you calculate for the similar atoms present in a chemical combination, though you can calculate, but that will give you confusion and that is not worthy enough. Hence what we will do is we will calculate for these 3 nitrogens at once. Nitrogen is -1, hydrogen is +1. What is the charge present on this nitrogen? -1, +1 and -1. Overall 3 nitrogens are having a charge of -1. Hence for nitrogen the charge is -1/3 and this -1/3 is said to be the average oxidation number of nitrogen, which is a fractional value. It can be fractional positive, fractional negative. In this case it came as fractional negative. Thus, on breaking all chemical connectivities connected with the atom, referred atom, imaginarily on behalf of electronegativity, whichever charge is present on the atom is known as its corresponding oxidation number or the oxidation state. Next is rules for the calculation of oxidation number. Whatever the earlier method is discussed, in that structure is necessary. Without knowing structure, the calculation becomes difficult. But always knowing of structure is not mandatory. Suppose if you know the molecular formula, then also you should be in a position to calculate the oxidation number. Generally, in a chemical combination, whether the hydrogen, the halogen, oxygen or alkali, alkaline earth metals are generally reoccurring, and these are present with the extreme nature, maintains some standardness related to the oxidation number. So if we know the oxidation number of those elements like hydrogen, first A group, second A group, halogens, then to certain extent we can manage the calculation of oxidation numbers. Thus rules related to the oxidation number are: number 1, in elemental state or in allotropic form, oxidation number of atom of an element is equal to 0. Suppose if it is an element, yes, oxygen is there, O2, whereas the allotrope ozone is there, O3, whereas this is allotrope of oxygen, ozone, where that is also an elemental form. So therefore in elemental form same atoms are combined. So therefore there is no the dragging of electron density, there is no getting of electron density, there is no losing of electron density, hence equal sharing is there. As a result they won't offer any kind of charge another, so therefore oxidation number will becomes equal to 0. Similarly for monoatomic ions, whatever the charge is present on them, that will becomes equal to its oxidation number. Suppose I am having sodium plus, the meaning is what? After losing one electron, sodium is converted to sodium plus. The total charge present on the atom of element, because that is present in the elemental state, here it is plus 1, hence the oxidation number is plus 1. Suppose if I am having Cl minus, the oxidation number of chlorine in this case is minus 1. And if you come for the generalization, in case of hydrogen always the oxidation number is plus 1, but whenever it chemically combines with more electropositive elements like alkali metal hydrides like lithium hydride, sodium hydride, beryllium hydride, like that, in these cases it will maintains minus 1, else it generally maintains plus 1, and as usual in elemental form hydrogen oxidation number is 0. Whereas in general for oxygen the oxidation number is minus 2, it gains 2 electrons and it is always present in the form of O of minus 2 state. Whereas in peroxides the oxidation number is minus 1. Let us go for one peroxide, hydrogen peroxide. This is hydrogen peroxide. If this bond is imaginarily broken, this is plus 1 and this is minus 1. Whereas if this bond is also broken, this is minus 1 and this is plus 1. But if this bond is broken, there is 0, there is 0. So therefore oxidation number on the oxygen of the peroxide, OO connectivity is there. With respect to OO cleavage, you will be getting 0. So therefore here the oxidation number is minus 1. Similarly superoxide, potassium oxide, CaO2. Whereas here K is of plus 1, oxygen, O2 is of minus 2. Two oxygens are having a charge of minus 1 implies each oxygen is minus 1 by 2. So therefore in case of superoxides, the oxidation number of oxygen is minus 1 by 2. Whereas in case of ozonides, the oxidation number is minus 1 by 3. Potassium ozonide, KO3 is there. So therefore 3 oxygens is holding 1 potassium with a charge of plus 1. So therefore to become neutral, it is maintaining minus 1. So for each oxygen that is minus 1 by 3. Whereas in case of fluorides, what happens is oxygen is also having positive oxidation state, because fluorine is more electronegative, it always maintains minus 1 oxidation state. Suppose in case of fluorides like dioxygen difluoride, otherwise oxygen difluoride. In case of dioxygen difluoride, each oxygen is maintaining plus 1 state. Whereas in oxygen difluoride, oxygen is maintaining plus 2 oxidation state. Similarly, fluorine superhalogen always maintains minus 1. There is no confusion, there is no ambiguity. In elemental state 0, whereas in fluorine in atomic state or in any chemical combination of atom, fluorine always maintains minus 1 state. Halogens generally shows minus 1 oxidation state, but whereas the oxidation number can also increases from minus 1 to plus 1, plus 3, plus 5, and even they can show the plus 7 also. And here the oxidation state of alkali metals is always plus 1. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, they always shows just plus 1, and alkaline earth metals just shows the plus 2, that is beryllium, magnesium, calcium, francium, barium, all these elements just shows the plus 2 oxidation states. Oxidation number of nitrogen. Nitrogen generally shows oxidation number of minus 3 because it is also relatively more electronegative. But it can range its oxidation number from minus 3 to plus 5, including the fractional values also. Carbon shows oxidation number of minus 4 to plus 4, and the sum of all the oxidation numbers of atoms of elements involved in chemical combination is equal to the charge present on the species. Whereas the oxidation number never exceeds the group number of the atom of the element. Suppose nitrogen, if you look at group number is 5, it never exceeding 5, maximum it can shows 5. Carbon group number is 4, it is maximum showing 4, it not exceeds 4. Now let us go for the example, that is sum of all the atoms of elements involved in chemical combination, oxidation numbers will becomes equal to total charge present on the species. One of the common example, that is manganite ion MnO4, MnO4 minus. Whereas the manganese oxidation state plus 4 oxygens oxidation state will becomes equal to -1. Whereas manganese, let us leave to certain extent, each oxygen is of -2, 4 into -2, that will becomes equal to -8, that will becomes equal to -1. Whereas the manganese oxidation number is +7. Now if I add, this is +7 plus these are 4, each one is of -2, so therefore 4 into -2 will becomes equal to -8, -8 plus 7. See, once again I am adding here, whether that will becomes equal to charge or not. Let us have a cross verification. Charge present on them -1. What we are saying, the sum of the oxidation numbers of all the atoms of the elements involved in chemical combination will becomes equal to charge present on the species. Whereas charge present on the species is -1. Whereas manganese oxidation number, we know from the group number information, that is +7. And 4 oxygens, each oxygen is of -2, total it will becomes equal to -8, that is plus of -8, yes, +7 -8, overall becomes equal to -1, we are expecting -1. Thus, the sum of all the oxidation numbers of atoms of elements involved in chemical combination of a species will becomes equal to overall charge present on the species. If it is neutral, sum will becomes equal to 0. If it is positively charged species, sum will becomes equal to the quantity of positive charge plus 1 plus 2 plus x. Similarly, if it is a negatively charged species, anion, then the sum of the oxidation numbers of all the atoms of the elements will becomes equal to that particular negative number -x or -y, etc. Calculation of oxidation number in the chemical combinations, because we are having 3 varieties of chemical combinations. One is electrovalent bond, second one is covalent bond, third one is coordinate covalent bond. Let us consider A and B are the 2 atoms and they are forming 3 varieties of connectivities. Let us see AB. The electrovalent compound is AB, just like sodium chloride. Whereas covalent compound is AB and coordinate covalent compound is AB. Let us consider. Then how this A is cation and B is anion, then what we will write? A plus B minus, otherwise A plus 2 B minus 2, such kind of formulas we will write. Hence, suppose if it is then oxidation number of A, what we said, if it is present in the ionic state, the charge present on the atom of element E will becomes equal to its corresponding oxidation number. Hence the oxidation number of A is +1, oxidation number of B is -1, and in this case that is +2 and this is -2. Suppose if it is a case of AB2, yes, AB2, I am expecting A is of +2, B is of -1, B is of -1. Then what will be the oxidation numbers? A is +2, B is of -1. Let us go for the covalent bond. Yes, covalent bond. Generally, how covalent bond is represented? By writing a single line between A and B. Case 1, let us consider A is more electronegative compared to B. There is a single bond. A is more electronegative. Yes, case 1. Electronegativity of A is greater than B. Then what happens? This particular bond, if it is broken, the sigma bond electron density will be shifted towards A. As a result, this is having -1, this is having +1 unit. Hence the oxidation number of A is -1, B is +1. Suppose if it is having double bond, the same situation. You break this bond, -1 and the +1. You break this bond also, -1 and +1. A is of -2, B is of +2. Similarly, if it is reverse, then you will be getting A with the positive charges, B with the negative charges. If triple bond, another one extra unit, that is A with 3 units, B with 3 units, etc. Now let us go for the next case, that is coordinate covalent bond is there. How coordinate covalent bond is present? Yes. This is the coordinate covalent bond situation. This lone pair is donated towards this. Whereas this is represented in such a way that A with arrow mark of B. Whereas if I write that one in the form of covalent bond, A is having 1 unit of positive charge, B is having 1 unit of negative charge. This is the actual situation of the coordinate covalent bond in terms of covalent bond. Because here A, if it is having 2, that is lone pair of electrons, it becomes neutral. B, without having any kind of donor electrons, it becomes neutral. But after donation followed by sharing, how many electrons it is having now? 1 electron. In the beginning it is having 2 electrons, 1 lone pair. Now in sharing it is having 1 electron. 1 it is lost, hence it is having 1 unit positive charge and donor is getting 1 unit negative charge. Now the system comes. Suppose if A is more electronegative, then what happens? If B is more electronegative, then what happens? Let us have a discussion. Suppose A is more electronegative than B. This is as per electronegativity. So if I break this particular connectivity, then what is the fate of A? A is having +1, B is having -1. A is more electronegative. So this bond is broken in such a way that A is getting -1 unit. Overall charge present on the A is 0, +1, -1. Similarly, overall charge present on B is also 0. Reverse case, suppose A is less electronegative than B, then what happens? A is plus. A is less electronegative, then who is more electronegative? B. So if you break this one, this electron will goes towards the B. One is of B, another is also moving towards B, hence -1 unit. So therefore charge present on A is +2, charge present on B is -2. Thus, if any coordinate complex comes, then we have to make that one in the form of covalent compound, followed by on behalf of electronegativity rules applied for the covalent bond. You apply the same logics for that, then we can calculate the oxidation numbers of atoms of the elements. A mixed compound K4FeCN6, the formula of the K4FeCN6 and the structural features K4FeCN6. As we know, potassium is of +1. How many potassiums here it is having? 4 potassiums. So 4 units of cationic charge. Overall, that species is a neutral species. Hence, the anionic portion is also consisting of equal magnitude. Magnitude wise different, but quantity wise same. So therefore, this particular anionic species FeCN6 is having -4 units. Whereas ferrous, if I don't know, but I know the cyanide. Cyanide is -1. Ferrous plus 6 cyanides. 6 of -1 will becomes equal to -4. Hence ferrous will becomes equal to -4 plus 6 is equal to +2. Is the oxidation state. Let us have a look over the cyanide. How cyanide is -1. It becomes very clear. You know hydrogen cyanide. This is hydrogen cyanide. The structural features of the hydrogen cyanide. If hydrogen is left from the system in the form of H+, so therefore this sigma bond is polarized in favor of carbon. So carbon is having lone pair followed by triple bond followed by nitrogen. Now to maintain electrical neutrality, if it is +1 unit, this will be what? -1 unit. Now let us go for the oxidation number of nitrogen as well as the carbon present in the cyanide also. The structure is like this. Carbon with 1 unit of negative charge followed by nitrogen with triple bond with the 1 lone pair. If I tilt this bond, nitrogen is more electronegative. This is -1 and the +1. If I tilt this bond once again, this is once again +1 and this is -1. If I tilt this one once again, this is +1 followed by this is -1. So therefore nitrogen is having, carbon is having +2 units and nitrogen is having what? -3 units of charge. Thus, the oxidation number of each particular atom of an element present in chemical combination of every variety of chemical combination like ionic, covalent, coordinate covalent can be calculatable, and sum of all the oxidation numbers of atoms of element in chemical combination becomes equal to charge present on the species. If it is positive, equal to the same quantity of positive, negative, same quantity of negative. If it is 0, equal to 0.